The morning Ion returned to his hometown after 7 years, the world felt unusually quiet. Not the kind of silence that comforts you after a long day, but the kind that presses against your chest, reminding you of everything you had tried so hard to forget. He stepped out of the old bus, the gravel crunching beneath his shoes. The familiar air wrapped around him like a memory he didn't ask for. The small town looked the same: narrow streets, chalk-faded shop signs, stray dogs sleeping beside tea stalls, but something felt different inside him. Like he had come back as a stranger to a place that once knew him better than he knew himself. The sun was just rising, brushing gold across the empty road. Ion looked around, hands trembling slightly. 7 years. 7 years of running, searching, failing, healing, breaking, rebuilding, and now life had brought him back here, to confront the silence he once escaped. He checked his phone. No messages. Just like every day for the last 3 years. He took a long breath and began walking toward the house he had left behind, the house where his father still lived. Their last conversation echoed in his mind. It wasn't a conversation at all. It was shouting, sharp words, accusations, doors slammed, dreams crushed, and then the silence that followed. Ion swallowed hard. This wasn't the silence that teaches, this was the silence that wounds. And he had carried it inside him for too long. He wasn't sure if coming back was a mistake. But he knew one thing: the silence had grown heavier than the world. And some silences won't leave you unless you walk right into the heart of the. The house looked smaller than he remembered. White paint peeling, iron gate rusted, flowers in the garden long dead. It was strange, how places shrink when you grow up. He hesitated at the gate. His hand hovered over the metal. Would his father open the door? Would he turn him away? Would he even speak? Ion pushed the gate softly. It let out a dry, creaking groan, like even the house wasn't prepared for his return. He walked slowly to the door and knocked. Once, twice, silence. He knocked again. Footsteps. His heart raced. The door opened, and there he stood, his father, wearing the same morning shawl, the same stern posture, but older, deeply older. Lines carved along his forehead, eyes sunken with years of unspoken heaviness. They stared at each other, neither moving nor speaking. Ion swallowed. "Baba, I'm home." The old man did not respond, not with words, not with a nod, not even with anger. Just silence. His eyes flickered with something unreadable, a mixture of shock and pain. Then, he stepped aside, allowing Ion to enter. No welcome, no embrace, just a doorway, and a silence that was louder than any scream from their past. Ion stepped inside slowly. The house smelled the same: old wood, dust, and his father's favorite incense. Memories rushed back in waves. Late night studying, winter breakfasts, laughter from years when life was simple, arguments from years when it wasn't. His father closed the door gently. Still no words. Ion wanted to say something, anything, but he didn't know where to begin. So he followed the silence. Days passed like shadows moving across a wall. His father would wake up early, make tea, place a cup on the table without looking at Ion, then sit outside reading the newspaper. No words. At first, Ion tried talking. "How have you been, Baba? I can fix the sink if you want. Do you need anything from the market?" But the old man would simply nod or shake his head. Sometimes not even that. The silence wasn't angry anymore. It wasn't cold. It was tired, like two people carrying heavy stones and unable to speak because the weight was exhausting. At night, Ion lay in his childhood room, staring at the ceiling fan turning slowly, wondering if 7 years of silence could ever be untangled. The memories came back uninvited. The day he chose music instead of engineering. His father's disappointment. His own stubbornness. The argument that shattered everything. "The world is hard, Ion. You never cared what I wanted. You're throwing your future away. You've never listened to me." And then the words Ion regretted for years. "Maybe I'll be better off without you." Silence. A door closing. A young man leaving with a bag full of dreams and anger. And now, the dreams were bruised. The anger had faded, but the silence remained. On the 5th day, Ion searched for a screwdriver in an old wooden drawer when a folded piece of paper caught his attention. The handwriting on it stopped his breath. It was his mother's. She passed away when he was 18. She had been the bridge between father and son, the gentle voice in every storm. The glue. When she died, the cracks began widening. The letter was addressed to him. Hands trembling, he opened it. "My dear Ion, if you're reading this someday, I want you to know something important. Your father is rough in words but soft in heart. He fears losing the people he loves. When you left, that fear grew. He doesn't know how to speak it. Men like him don't. But silence is not absence. Sometimes silence is love without language. One day you'll understand him. One day he'll understand you. Don't let silence become distance. Come home when your heart is ready. Love, Ami. Ion pressed the letter against his chest, tears falling quietly, the kind of tears you don't cry for sadness alone, but for truths you avoided. Silence had always lived in this house, but he never realized it carried meaning too. That evening, his father walked into the living room and paused when he saw Ion holding the letter. Their eyes met. Ion waited for him to say something. Anything. But the old man just sat on the opposite chair, hands folded, gaze lowered. Ion inhaled deeply. Baba, why didn't you tell me about this letter? His father didn't respond. Ion wasn't even sure if he heard him. The silence expanded, like a wall and a bridge at the same time. Eventually, the old man whispered, voice cracked from years of not speaking. I read it every night. It was the first full sentence he had spoken in 7 days. Ion felt his heart tremble. Why? His father's eyes shined with something heavy, something human. Because, it was the only way I felt close to you and your mother. Both gone, in different ways. Ion's chest tightened. Baba, I didn't mean to stay away that long. His father clenched his jaw, looked away. That night, you said you'd be better without me. Ion felt the words burn. His father added softly, I believed it. Silence filled the room again. But this time, it didn't hurt. This silence healed. The next morning, Ion saw his father putting on his sandals. Where are you going? He asked gently. The old man didn't answer, but he paused, a gesture that meant come if you want. They walked together toward the river at the edge of town. The same river Ion used to visit as a child. Water always held their unspoken truths. They sat on a large stone by the shore. For a long time, neither spoke. Birds chirped. The water flowed softly. Leaves rustled. Wind brushed gently. This silence wasn't empty. It was alive. Ion thought of all the noise of the world. The cities, the rush, the deadlines, the music, the chaos. He had chased dreams in loud places, only to discover that meaning often hides in quiet ones. After several minutes, his father finally spoke. Ion, did music treat you well? The question wasn't simple. It was layered, heavy, honest. Ion nodded. It gave me joy. It also broke me. I succeeded in some ways, failed in others. But I don't regret choosing it. His father looked straight ahead. And, are you happy? Ion thought about it for a long time. I'm learning to be, he replied. His father exhaled deeply. That's enough. Silence again, but this time it felt like understanding. Yan walked into the storeroom the next day, searching for his old guitar.